I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Rie Sonomura. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
I am Rie Sonomura. I am undergoing a re-debut that will be on April the 12th. I am, according to my new lore, a fragment of the universe who can literally hack reality.
Yay. That's some power there. I've got some reality to hack if you're up to it.
I once hacked the Krusty Krab.
Oh.
It's an inside joke from when I played a Hacknet mod. You literally hack Mr. Krabs' Wi-Fi network in that mod.
Did you get the recipe?
Yeah, but I don't remember what was in it.
No. Well, I mean that's pretty valuable. I'm sure you could sell it for some big money if you're looking for it. So how did you get into VTubing?
I was actually a streamer for quite a while. I was that disembodied voice, but I was always the kind that would want to share my experiences that made me hype and some fun facts with it.
Yeah.
And eventually I found out of VTubing through a longtime artist friend of mine named Chaotic Blossoms, who I think is someone you should possibly check out later on.
I should, yes. Absolutely.
But I learned that I didn't need a 2D model that would set me back a lot of bucks. I looked into Vroid, and I started my old models were just stuff in Vroid Studio and assets from Booth, but my upcoming 3.0 model is one made entirely by my friend Bloss, Chaotic Blossoms.
Cool beans. And were you starting or debuting with a new model, or are you just doing
new
a
model
debut? Okay.
So, on April 12th.
April 12th. Cool. So I imagine you've been hyped for this coming up for a while.
Oh yeah, I even finished one of my last recording with my old model, which I just beat Lobotomy Corporation today. That is the last episode that will be with the old model. I'll edit up later on, and any uploads with the old model will be from prior to that.
So you are
quite the backlog to go through.
You are definitely all set to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
it. That's neat. So you've been content creator for quite a while then, and doing this. What brought you to doing it in the first place? Getting the microphone and going on the air.
I guess I kind of wanted to just, connect with people over, like I said, the shared experiences, fun facts, and maybe putting my own spin on things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do tend to stream a lot of games with mods, like on occasion.
Yeah.
I never really stuck with coding, so I can't really write a mod. I wish I could, but I like seeing what communities come up with.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. There's a lot of things that come out through the fandom as far as these go. I see the mods that come up for like Stardew Valley or
that might be a thing I might try at one point.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to stay away from Stardew Valley. Yeah, before I started doing the interviews, I was constantly starting new things. I have 40 or so save files of Stardew Valley.
Wow.
I'll go through and finish it and then start over again. So if I start doing that, I'll never get any interviews done or anything else for that matter. But I also see a lot of mods for things like the Pokemon games or Grand Theft Auto or those types of things. Will you play sometimes the mod first before the actual game?
It depends on the game. Like, if it is a game that is best experienced as close to vanilla as possible, I will do that first. But if there are some particularly interesting content mods, like the game I just finished, Lobotomy Corporation, the game itself has some memory leaks, so I first downloaded a mod to help with that,
Hmm.
and then there were some custom content mods that I kind of just loaded up, and there are some that don't work as intended, but otherwise I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to have that sort of thing. It's what's great is that the folks from generally the folks from these game companies, the people who make these games, don't put up a big squawk when
Yeah,
the
we should
mods
be
come
glad
out.
that we don't that they don't.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you think about it, they're still selling the product. I mean, people are still getting the game. They're just
Uh-huh.
doing with it what they want. And while the base is still going out there and the game is still popular because of it, I would say, yeah, do what you want at this point. It actually saves the company money from more, trying to do the things themselves. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know it's probably not the best example, but The Sims 4, I know that if you take a hacker route in The Sims 4, if you make your sim take the hacker career, there's like an option to mod games that says, what do these game companies know? Modding makes things more fun. They are definitely aware of their community, even if
Yeah,
EA has been not exactly the best
yeah.
lately.
And well, I would imagine Nintendo eventually would come up and start swinging at people, but it's it
You
it
don't mess with the Nintendos.
no, they'll come after you. And then, I mean, if a company won't even let you own the physical copy of the game, they're probably not going to let you do a lot of hacking with it on purpose. Um, so how did you get used to uh, basically broadcasting? Was it easy for you to grab a microphone?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty easy on the technical side of things. I've always been a big techie since I was small.
Yeah.
Figuring out programs is and hardware too is one of my strong suits. Troubleshooting most things.
Hmm.
I'm often the one who has to stop my mom from clicking a suspicious link in an email.
Oh yeah, yeah. My late mom was constant with that, and but
Oh,
that's
my
yeah.
condolences.
Well, thank you, but she would call up. I my it says that I have a Microsoft error in Windows, and I was like, Mom, you have a Chromebook. It doesn't have Windows.
Yeah, I also work in IT, and I've gotten a couple calls like that, but also a couple calls with, like, an actual malware
Mm,
on the device.
yeah.
Few
Oh.
and far between, but I always found those the most mentally exciting and fun. But unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to actually remove the virus or malware.
Oh, oh, that was you don't even get to exterminate the pests.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one time. Yeah, I'm no expert at all at this, but yeah, I can follow directions. So my my stepdaughter and my son-in-law got a laptop computer, and it was a handover free, and they wanted to use it, but it just wouldn't run very well. And
Hmm.
I had I said, well, let me take a shot at it. So I went in and started looking, and it was a particular virus that just grabs hold of a computer and will not let go. It is a a real
Ransomware?
no, no, no. It was before that stuff came out. It was just really tough to run anything on the computer. And I loaded up
Hmm.
a couple of the free anti anti spyware type things, and it wouldn't
Uh-huh.
even let me run them.
Yeah, old malware used to do that.
Yeah,
New malware nowadays is pretty much just ransomware
yeah,
or ads and stuff. But
yeah.
I remember I was like in middle and high school at that time, and I remember the old days when I actually got the one worm on the old family computer back in 2004, the one that would, shortly after you started up, it would begin shutting it down in a minute. I forgot what it was called, but
Mm,
like literally one of my uh pastimes on YouTube is on occasion looking up videos about malware, hacking, cybersecurity, because I do want to break into cybersecurity at one point.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, if you can do that, and there'll be somebody looking for your talents no matter what. When it comes to that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I think the movie Hackers from 1995 was a huge inspiration for both my aesthetic and my whole uh, attr- uh, chemistry with technology. You know, hack the planet.
Yeah, that's right. Hack everything. I
Yes,
it's
but like also the aesthetic that I have, it's like a neo Y2K hypertrance
oh
kind of
yeah.
aesthetic. It's like they call it metal heart if you look it up on the aesthetics wiki.
Ooh,
It's like a very futuristic look, and it's related aesthetics too. A very futuristic looking look, which
yeah.
I liked. Growing up, I used to idealize the future like it was high tech stuff that would help everybody,
Right.
hype, excitement.
Yeah. It
Like,
is it like we see in the movies where someone sits in the computer, they kind of use the air to hack into the computer?
yeah,
That would be I see people really getting into that sort of thing. I would be very confused, but it would still be fun though
yeah.
to get it into
Like
that.
this aesthetic wise, I used to be on forums a lot in the 2000s, and they would always have these signature banners that had that kind of aesthetic look.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess that kind of just became that changed my brain chemistry, as the youngins would say.
Yes, yes. So what type of was there a music that goes along with it, or
Yeah, like it's called hypertrance.
ooh,
The a DJ named Nufori has started that subgenre movement. Like literally, just type in YouTube hypertrance, listen to it. You'll
oh,
thank me later.
I will, I will. I'll get. That sounds like something I would really get into. Right now, a lot of times when I'm working on things, especially for the interviews, I'll have on Soma FM, and
I think I've heard of that.
yeah, they have all sorts of different stations with music, and I'll have on um, the what some of the what they would call space music at the
Hmm.
time, and Symphera, which is atmospheric, but also you know very modernistic type thing.
Hmm.
And
Like ambient.
yeah, ambient, but
Yeah,
it's
I listen to that kind of stuff to help me sleep.
yeah. I listen to a lot of things for sleep. Sometimes I'll have three or four things on at the same time. Drives the wife crazy. I was like, and you want me to sleep during the night, right? Because otherwise I'll fall asleep during the day, and that's not good for anybody. But
True.
that's a lot of fun to do. So, but I see that you also list yourself as a writer. What type of a writer?
For now, mostly like fan fiction, sometimes poetry. I do want to eventually do an original fiction one day. I just haven't really had the inspiration. In fact, I've been on writer's block for quite a couple years actually, with a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life.
Yeah. Well, that definitely happens. I mean, you get some ideas in your head, and then you want to start doing it, but then stupid life gets in the way. This. Dang it, get out of my way. But no, it makes it worse. The would you write along the same lines? The fiction that you talk about with the hyper trance type things.
Um, Possibly sometimes. It depends on my mood.
Yeah, yeah. What about the poetry? Is it what type of poetry is it, or is it just stream of
Various
consciousness.
all
Yeah,
over the place.
yeah,
I actually haven't written poetry in years.
yeah, yeah. Well, you have to really be, you have to be really inspired and have that
Yeah.
come to you. It's not something you can just sit down and do. I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back when DeviantArt was like before Eclipse and that icky generative AI stuff, I
bad.
was on DeviantArt. I actually met Bloss on DeviantArt and
Yeah,
from like 2009 till maybe around 2014, I would constantly be browsing there for inspiration for writing and stuff.
yeah,
And because I saw what other people would draw for like fan art and original art, and
yeah,
I miss those old days. Just I
yeah. It
really I haven't even logged into my DeviantArt in years because of the AI slop.
it just seemed, and to talk to folks of a younger generation these days, it's hard to describe what the atmosphere was like then. Um, it was while it
Like the
wasn't,
Wild West.
yeah, it was the Wild West, but almost an innocent way to do it. I mean,
Yeah, it had still a bit of problems,
yeah, oh yeah, but
like people throwing around mean words back then. That was still a problem, but I kind of feel like it's gotten a bit worse now, more soulless, more fighting. There are more people and there are more people accepting of certain perspectives, but at the same time, there's still some nastiness
yeah,
depending on where you look. And
yeah,
I kind of want to try to just enjoy things as much as I did back then, even if it's not completely the same.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people coming from different angles, but now it seems like they come from different angles in order to create controversy or some sort of like you mentioned, a fight. I mean, they're there to, instead of accept and they're to defend and destroy rather than do something else,
Yeah.
which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Hmm.
I mean, the whole thing was to exchange ideas and be inspired rather than being clubbed over the head while you're doing it. It's strange how it's turned out. What brought you to VTubing over what you were doing before?
I felt like I could express myself, like my persona, my inner self, without having to, show my face, because I do very much value my privacy.
Yeah. Oh, I can understand that. Yeah, I'm being a radio guy for so long. We never showed our faces, and then the occasions that I did, I proved why I shouldn't. Um, but did you just kind of mention how you really kind of get to let your hair down a little bit more with an avatar, and
Yeah.
you have to be more you than you can be in real life sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Very much so.
yeah. And was it easy for you to generate and keep a base of folks that were regulars at that point?
I would think so, yeah, from the communities I built in fanfic writing and some of my old DeviantArt friends for the most part.
Yeah, and when you realize that they're coming for you, and you could be playing a certain game or doing this, but they're still coming back because you are Rie, you know.
Yeah, I bring an energy that only I can bring, I guess. Like there's that meme, the energy I bring to the function or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm kind of thinking of.
yeah. And how when you sit down and kind of think about that a little bit, how does that hit you?
It's a nice feeling, knowing I can entertain people in a unique way.
Yeah. People around the world, uh, people that you're probably never going to set foot in their country. It's really it's something that I wish we had in the '80s,
Hmm.
when I was in radio, It's making sense.
I was born in '89,
Yeah,
so
yeah. You don't even have memories of the '80s. And here I'm talking about
I
having.
looked it up myself, like what the '80s was like in pop culture. Like I will look it up.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. It was very '80s. It's become the only descriptive way to tell you is it was very '80s. Because it's really hard to capture that same type of feeling with the hair and everything. especially especially when you lived it and you don't have nearly that much hair later. It's very tough to capture. Um, but if this type of communication was available in say 1984, oh, would have been. I shudder to think what type of things that we would have done back then. Um,
Yeah. I mean, when I was literally in elementary school, I would be browsing anime fan sites. Back when they had like, GeoCities and stuff like that.
mhm.
Man, I miss that era.
Well, I tell you, my actual personal email account, is still a Netscape.net account.
That was the browser my elementary school used.
People don't even know what Netscape was at this point. I put that down, and they would, "What's that Netscape?" Don't worry, it defaults to something else. But I just have to keep it because right now I have so many filters on it. I couldn't possibly have the same filters on anything else at this point. Um, it don't only lets certain things through. Um, Now that you've done it for a while, and you've done it now to the point where you're going to be, rebirthing
Redebuting?
rebirthing here soon. Um,
Kinda, yeah.
how would you assess your progression as a VTuber at this point?
Um, I would definitely say it's been going pretty well. Like, I plan to start and complete more gaming series, and also do little non-gaming stuff on the side. I sometimes do like anime music videos and parody videos for fun, but I also really want to do some talking about tech stuff like shorts. Like
Oh,
I really want to talk about like I always bring it up. Like I even brought it up at my old network plus, or no, I think it was security plus class. You remember the show Mr. Robot?
yes.
There's a scene where the CTO gets her smart house hacked because everything is an IoT device. Therefore, and it's all on the same network. If you'll pardon me, I'm nerding out a little here,
No
but
worries.
since there's a single point of entry and the hackers are doing lateral movement, everything gets controlled remotely, like the shower, the air conditioning,
Yeah.
the projectors, the speakers, everything. And that's what's also taught me never buy a smart house.
That's exactly. That was such a big thing for a while, and you don't even hear that term anymore, smart house. But
You know that's also one of my sorry to interrupt, but that's also one of my favorite memes. There's a meme that I saw a couple of years ago that says tech enthusiasts, my entire house is smart. Tech workers, the only smart device I have is a printer, and I keep a gun next to it so I can shoot it if it makes a noise I don't
that's
recognize.
exactly,
Yeah, you have
exactly.
no idea how often my printer decides to act weird.
Oh, and even at workplaces that have these things. Well, we know at this point now. I've worked where am at now for several years, but when I'm there by myself and I hear a certain noise, I'm like, oh no, something wrong is happening. Uh, and look back and see that somebody's printing out something they very much shouldn't on the computer or something along those lines. Um, or we're getting a fax. We still use a fax machine. Uh,
Hmm.
where
I
we-
don't really hear much about fax machines anymore.
oh my gosh! When I started in radio, we had, of course, fax machines for everything. But we also had printers for the news and weather that were not only, dot matrix basically, but had rollers of paper that went through. So we had to
Mm.
rip it and tear it and edit it and that sort of thing without computers, or we had it on typewriters. Yeah, no,
Ooh.
yeah. And if you were by your
I have used a typewriter, at least in my late dad's job, one of
yeah.
his jobs when he was still working. It was at, I don't even remember, but it was an office building. And I remember I was very, very small. I was just going nuts on that typewriter.
Oh yeah, they're but the typewriter I used to use an old 1936 Underwood manual
Ooh.
typewriter. So when I got into college and started using their typewriters, which were of course hooked up to a computer, I was smashing that keyboard. Pow, 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 pow. So these printers, if you didn't pay attention, the roll would roll in on itself. And
Oof.
yeah,
I don't think they taught about that in my tech classes.
oh
Must have been
no,
a really, really old printer.
it was just spools. And if it rolled in on itself, you had all of the world news and local news printed out by the Associated Press on one black line that went across the screen.
Wait a second. This sounds familiar. Are these dot matrix printers?
They are dot matrix printers, yes.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, yeah. Dot matrix printers with just a roll of recycled paper going through them. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh! And then I had to call the national office to resend it to our little podunk station. They were so happy. Okay, I was like, we'll send you everything again. And the technology has increased quite a bit since then, obviously. But um, we had
Eh,
yeah
technology, I feel like it can have its positive uses, but I feel like a lot of the so-called innovations, at least of this decade, have not exactly been the best. Generative AI.
yeah.
Remember NFTs? Remember how
Oh,
obnoxious those were?
yes, and yeah, 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 they were definitely I stayed so far away from that stuff that
Yeah.
I didn't even when somebody brought it up, I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to know about it. It seems ridiculous to me. You do what you want. That's the advantage of being as old as I am. I can just like dismiss everything with a wave of a hand. I the thing with that really gets me about the AI is artists obviously are very affected by it, but those of us who use our voice to make money are very affected by it as well. Um, you see those commercials out there with AI voices that just drive me up a tree. And
Oh, I literally saw a Takis, those spicy snacks, Takis, a
yeah,
commercial for it on Twitch that was literally blatantly using generative AI. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not eating Takis anymore.
well, well, I wasn't going to eat them in the first place because I don't like burning my mouth. But I definitely won't. It just when you see a commercial on YouTube that has the AI voice, just know that that product sucks. Be-
Yeah.
because you can hire an announcer for half a cheese sandwich, and we'll do it. We're not expensive, and
Yeah.
if you can't afford that, your product must really be terrible. Um,
Yeah.
or that gelatin weight loss thing.
Yeah, the funny thing is, there's this game on Steam called IT Never Ends. It's like a dark humor slash cosmic horror IT based visual novel where, all kinds of weird stuff is happening with the tech, and it is a very promising game that I played for the demo, but before today, like several months ago, it
Mhm.
had an AI placeholder art, and I mentioned that in the interview. Hey, this is a pretty promising game, but maybe don't use generative AI for the placeholder image, and they changed it.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, well, that's something they can easily change. It's it's I imagine, and it's when I bring this up, people get mad at me, but I bet if they introduced, AI as a tool rather than an end all, people,
Like if it can just find a bunch of tutorials, since I don't really use
yeah,
DeviantArt anymore. That used to be my hub for all the tutorials.
yeah, yeah, if and didn't use it as a replacement for people.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Just like aggregate a bunch of links for tutorials and resources to help people do the thing versus doing the thing for them.
Right, right, right. Maybe if you know it, people used to go to the computer for inspiration and
Hmm.
say, what about this, and then use that as inspiration to do something. Um, if they'd have brought it out as that, maybe people would be more accepting of it. But that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. It's all replacing people, which
Hmm.
is a no-no to me. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, many a job of mine in IT too have been lost due to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And sooner or later, you're going to get radio stations with all AI announcers. You're going to get
Oh, goodness.
it'll happen because I know radio station owners, and,
Oof, I
and
believe you.
yeah, and there's always 10% to be cut. Even if it's only one person there, they'll cut them by 10% um, before they, try to do something positive. You'll just have that, and people will just have to deal with it at that point. And you're getting it everywhere. Any type of communication is that sort of thing. Um, will be tough, and then the artwork. Gee, many Christmas artists are really being affected badly with it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gonna. And I hate to say this, but I am not good at finding the difference. Sometimes I'm not an artist, um, and it's just going to get tougher and tougher to identify because it's going to get better and better.
Hmm. I've already kind of trained my eyes to spot a few tells when it comes to AI images. Like one of the, even though not it's not always the case, one of them is an overly airbrushed look,
Yeah,
or that infamous yellow Ghibli filter,
yeah, yeah,
or even pixel art. They're doing pixel art with AI now, and I can kind of tell that the pixels are not, uniform size with each other. That's
yeah,
one tell.
yeah, yeah. And the one thing that I get is too much perfection.
Oh yes, like I am literally on the page of YouTube. There is literally a thumbnail of every chicken wing style, and just looking at the shading, the coloring, the distribution of everything, the shadows. It looks pretty AI to me.
Yeah, if it looks if it's perfectly symmetrical,
Yeah.
um, no one draws like that. and no
Oh
one
yeah.
and no one looks like that. It's another thing. It's if it's absolutely perfect, nobody looks that way. On
Hmm.
well, uh, nobody I know anyway looks like that. And there are tells to that sort of thing. What when you look at a game to play, what what is what are some of the things you really enjoy about video games?
What I would say I really enjoy about video games is if it can really immerse you in its world and its setting.
Yeah.
Like that goes for any kind of like a simulation, JRPGs, which is pretty much my main focus, or literally any other kind. Like also the soundtrack is a big factor. If it's got a good soundtrack, I'll likely stay. If it doesn't have a bad soundtrack, if it has a bad soundtrack, like remember Yoshi's New Island?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one, you know the song.
Yeah.
But if it has a bad soundtrack, I'm not likely gonna stay.
When it is painful to listen to,
It could
it,
have like decent gameplay, but if your soundtrack literally sounds like a bunch of farts, then I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, that's 280s for me too. I wouldn't go for something like that. I noticed that some of the games you list are like Fallout. Did you play the whole series?
No, I have an interest in playing it though.
Yeah, yeah. Fallout 4. Were you able to finish?
No, but I definitely want to give it a try sometime. Mostly my channel consists of like Final Fantasy games,
Mm,
PS2 era games,
yeah,
stuff here and there. I did also beat Persona 4 Golden
yeah,
last year, and I plan to return to it later on.
yeah,
Like point and clicks.
yeah, yeah.
There's a funny point and click I have called The Dark Side Detective, and I plan to return to it later on with the sequel because it is really funny.
Now, what? Tell me about that game.
Yeah, it's like a funny supernatural detective type game. There's a lot of funny little gags and references.
Yeah, and it's kind of in joke type of deals.
Yeah, kind of pop culture references.
Yeah, yeah,
Casual fourth wall breaking.
yeah. That's the type of thing that indie games can do and do well. Not the big corporation games because they don't want
Yeah.
to they don't want to they don't want to
Take risks.
yeah, well, take risks is one thing. Also, they don't want to really reach out past the fourth wall or poke at any other type of pop culture while they're doing the game. It's too much. They want to concentrate on the story and keeping the lore creative, blah 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 blah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and go
I
that
get
way.
that.
Yeah, and I just find myself more and more attracted to indie games than the big corporation games.
Yeah, they both some of the older big corporation games are definitely great, but the newer ones are kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, yeah. The great thing about the indie stuff for the most part is the creators don't have to answer to shareholders when, when they're
Pretty much.
when they're doing the game, and then shareholders say they add a cute kid to it. Okay, we'll add a cute kid to it. That sort of stuff. Um, and kind of they can't be derailed by a commission vote, that sort of thing. That's why you get something like an Undertale, which is or even Stardew Valley, which has its own, you know, you don't have to run it by somebody, and it just comes out to so much better. Um, when you made the transition over to VTubing,
hmm
and you had the model and you're ready to go, and you made that first broadcast with the avatar.
hmm
How much different did it feel to you to do that as opposed to what you do before?
Slightly.
Just slightly?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah. You were able to slide into it pretty comfortably?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. And how did the audience take it?
Well, I was smaller then, so I think it was easier.
Mhm. Yeah, so it was for some folks, it's a pretty tough transition to kind of see on the screen your avatar reacting to you while you're doing something else. Was that a problem for you at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So you didn't have that look, start moving your arms around. Oh boy, this looks out pretty good.
It was pretty straightforward, I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and then launching back into. Do you think that having the avatar has helped you get a bigger audience?
Yes, like with expressiveness, with I feel like people like it when they have a face to match with the voice versus just a disembodied voice in many
Yeah,
cases.
yeah.
Even if it's a PNG.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always wonder why some people some people think they have to separate PNG from V2. It's virtually the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
I would think so.
yeah, and uh, you always people always find a way to separate themselves. or separate other people. And I don't understand that. But um, do you think, as a whole, that the VTuber, I would say, industry is going in the right direction?
It's without going into some rather touchy things like drama and stuff,
Yeah.
it would be a little hard to tell. It has its pluses, it has its downsides, but I I'm not really sure how to answer this, but I think if people can work together more, I guess
Hmm.
it can lead to some great things.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to try to do more collabs and stuff with my VTubing friends.
Yeah. Oh, has that been a good experience for you, the collaborations?
I've had a couple here and there, and I think they were pretty good.
Yeah. It's always it's kind of a crapshoot, even if you know the person, um, because it just may not work. Um,
Yeah.
you see things on you see people on television that are in the same they put together for a performance, and it just doesn't click, you know. And it's nobody's fault. It just doesn't work. You haven't had that happen, have you?
Not yet.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty tough when it does happen. But are you one of the people who would do some research on the collaboration before you do it?
In many cases, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you don't know them that well, to do that sort of thing. Like
If
some,
they're a long-time friend, then I try to observe their streams, try to match their energy, or even compliment it.
yeah. Or if an old man sends you a DM, hey, you want to be on the interview show? I, I really do appreciate you taking the time to come on with me, because I know
It
how
was nice.
busy everybody is with these days getting things together. When you're putting together your schedule for the week, um, does it take you very long, or do you have kind of a regular streaming schedule?
Before before I used to be very seat on my pants whenever short notice, but now that I have a part-time job, I'm thinking I can use that to sort the schedule out a little bit and maybe try to have a little more flexibility.
Mm. Well, folks, I hear folks doing the other way. Then they get the job. They find it harder to do to
Well, if
because
it's a full-time, yeah, but mine is temp and part-time, so maybe I can make something work.
yeah, it seems like having that regular day and night schedule kind of helps the audience. Um,
Yeah, I rarely stream in the evenings though, due to some, let's just say, family situations and
yes.
me being a little too sleepy nowadays at that time of day. But there's always my YouTube for those who miss the Twitch.
Yeah. So tell me the difference for you between recording something and putting it up on YouTube and streaming. Is it easier or
Mm,
tougher?
eh, it depends. Usually, if I were to record something, it would be something just like that. Either streaming it would be too like Lobotomy Corporation is a very spaghetti codey game, so I found it easier to just record it in bursts as I go.
Yeah.
For streaming is something I really want live reactions to.
Yeah. There's no net on the stream. Yeah, you're tight.
Yeah.
It's always a tightrope walk, and when you're doing something live, when when you are recording something, you get to edit it.
Yeah.
And how much editing do you usually do on a recording?
Depends again.
Yeah, depends on how many times you swallow a fly while you're doing it or something. Oh, I said something bad. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
it.
sometimes I there are some things I don't multi-stream that there's some older ones that I'm probably gonna have edited later from my older VTubing days.
See, that's one of the problems with having having been on the air one form or another since the '80s, is that you lose track of what you said, and it's always out there that somebody's going to find it eventually.
Yeah.
You said this in 1986. I probably did. I'm not
Oof.
I'm not gonna remember. Is in my time in radio, my first time radio, Ronald Reagan was the president. So I I anything could have happened back then. Just I just bow to it right now and say, would you say that streaming itself is a big part of your life at this point?
Let's say, probably.
Yeah,
Hopefully at least until I get back into writing more, but I'm still gonna stream, of course. I just, I also do some video editing from time to time, like for clients, I mean.
yeah. So you do have commissions open?
I do actually.
Mhm.
I actually am one of Benny. I know that you interviewed him one point. I'm one of his employees, so
Oh, cool.
maybe you could go through him as the middleman.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get the assignment. And also, as a heads up to those watching, you hit him up. You can drop his link in the description if you want.
Absolutely. Send it back to me, and I'll get it in the description. Um,
All
so,
right.
or,
Well, let me go drop his Kofi and it.
yep, and we'll put it up there for you. The video
And I'll
editing,
even drop some other friends I want of mine that are VTubers I'd like for you to interview later on. Okay.
absolutely. I will bug them no end. They, Rie sent me. That it's their fault. The video editing is a chore, but it certainly is better in electronics than it would be in manual.
Yeah, definitely. And I
In
have some tips and tricks picked up from when I used to edit AMVs back in the 2000s.
Oh wow, yeah. If you can take that technology and use it in this one, good on you. The technology I learned in video editing involved inch and a half videotape and scissors and adhesive. That was that when you talk about something being left on the editing room floor, it really was on the editing room floor. And
That's like the cutting room floor. I know that website because it talks about cut content in video games.
yep, yeah, and literally with the tape, it would go onto the floor. That's where it
Yep.
went. Um, so I'm really happy that you're able to come on because you've got so much experience in this, and it's obviously something that you enjoy doing,
Mhm.
and people are enjoying coming out to you and all of your content.
Yeah,
You've got a really unique vision and angle at this. Do you think that kind of sets you apart from other VTubers?
possibly yes. Like it's more part technological, part like Markiplier said, yeah, this is big brain time. I big brain a lot.
That's good because my brain, I have big head, small brain. So most of us radio guys have that sort of thing, unfortunately. It's a pleasure and an honor to talk with you, and we'll have all those links that you send me and the ones for you up on the description for the interview. I hope we can talk again because there's so much that I could ask you that we haven't been able to get to in this
That'll
segment.
be fun. I look forward to that.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.